What's good, y'all, man? Y'all know what time it is. It's week 7. Hard to believe, y'all. Week 7, college football. Pick 'em. I've already made some individual picks for, obviously, some of these games already. I thought, man, come on, Ohio State, Oregon, you got to make an individual pick for that one, right? Ole Miss, LSU, you got to make an individual pick for that. So y'all know who I'm rolling with, man. But we time to get into week 7 college football pick 'em. I can't wait. Let's see how I turn out this week. Comment below, man, for all my new followers. Love y'all, man. Appreciate it. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Y'all follow me on TikTok and YouTube. But comment who you taking in all these matchups, man. And call me out if I'm wrong. All right, let's go, man. So, obviously, you guys already know I'm going with Ohio State to come out on Oregon. I should have a live reaction to that game later on today and get my thoughts and reaction after watching it. Should be an electric matchup on NBC between two really good opponents. So, obviously, rolling with Ohio State. Next, I think Bama, they get back on track. Defense got to get it together. Malachi Moore looked like a crash out last week. I think they will. I think they're going to hold serve, have a dominant game with Jam Miller, Justice Hayes. I think Jalen Milroe is going to have a big game as well. And I think they're going to get going with the passing attack a little bit earlier than they did against Vanderbilt. I think the defense is going to play a lot better. Now, obviously, South Carolina, North Sellers, other really good players. But I think it's going to be too much to try to go all the way to now Saban Field, not Bryant-Denny Stadium, Saban Field, and go with a victory. Alabama's going to be pissed off. They're going to want to show to the country that they still Alabama, and I think they're going to come out on top. So I'm rolling with the Crimson Tide. All right, next, we already talked about this matchup, Red River Rivalry. I've done like 3 videos. One y'all had go crazy. Over 40K views here on TikTok. I think over 2,000 plus likes, so appreciate y'all. But I'm rolling Red River Rivalry. Y'all already know. Rolling with Texas. I think Quinn Ewers has a big game. They rush a lot on the ground. Ryan Wingo, Colin Simmons, outstanding freshman for the Texas Longhorns, who've had big seasons so far. I think that continues in this one. In Oklahoma, just the offense, I don't think it's as explosive as they want. And I think that's going to be kind of an issue in this one with Texas and that defense. I think they're going to be able to create some pressures and make some mistakes with the true freshmen, even though it's on a neutral field. All right, next you got Penn State, USC. USC actually has the most turnovers in the country. When I was looking at the stats, I think they have 8 turnovers so far this year. So it's going to be important for them to protect the ball, right? Miller Moss, they're going to have to do what they need to do. But a very dominant running attack for Penn State. When you look at what they're able to do, right? Drew Allen's been having a good season. Probably an all-conference type year, but they like to run the ball. That game and that win against Illinois, right? They was running the football. Drew Allen made some plays. They hit their receivers, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. The only problem is USC doesn't have that same home crowd how they usually do, you know what I'm saying? But I think they can make some noise in this one. They're going to have to protect against that Penn State defensive line. A tough game, but I'm going to go upset. I'm going to go USC comes out on top and beats Penn State in a very good game and hands them their first loss of the season. Next up, you got Eli Holstein hosting Cal at home. He's been having a great freshman year, set a career high last week against North Carolina in that win, 381 yards passing. I think that continues. I like what he's able to do. They're not putting a lot on him. They're allowing him to kind of mature in the offense and keep going. I think it's going to be too much for Cal, who had a really good game last week against Miami. Just couldn't quite close the deal. The true freshman, some learning pains in this one. As well. It could be a sophomore. Y'all forgive me. I can't remember the year he is. But should have beat Miami, couldn't come on top. I think they're going to kind of lag behind a little bit in this one. Penn State wins that one. Next up, Florida, Tennessee, right? Can Florida be the team that makes some noise? Slow start, but can Billy Napier rally the troops in Neyland Stadium? That's kind of hard to see. I think Tennessee is going to want to rebound after that loss they took to Arkansas last week. Nico Alemileva and several of their playmakers, in that one. I think they're going to come out on top. I like Florida. I like the direction they're going in, but I think it's too much to ask for on the road. Now, I could be wrong. They could move in a different direction, but I got to see it first before I say that. Next up, you got LSU, Ole Miss. I already told y'all I'm rolling with LSU. I believe in Garrett Nussmeier and the way they're going, and they're my sleeper in the SEC this year. And I think they're going to pull off some really big wins this year, starting with this one against Ole Miss. And I want to see Jackson Dart win the big game. He has not been able to do that just yet. I want to see him be able to do that, and they're at home. LSU is at home. Ole Miss is on the road. But I want to see Jackson Dart perform in a big atmosphere. We already talked about his numbers this year, which is exceptional. 2,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. But winning the big game, let me see it first before he does that. Won a lot of games last year. It doesn't get no bigger than Death Valley. All right, next up, Vanderbilt, Kentucky. A big game. I like Kentucky's defense. Brock Vandagriff, the way they can run the football. Diego Pavia's having kind of the time of his life a little bit. Started a new podcast called Air It Out Pavia. Shout out to him, man. Big win at home, obviously, against the Alabama Crimson Tide, handing them their first loss of the season and the biggest victory in Vanderbilt football history. That's a lot to ask for to go on the road and beat a really good Kentucky team. I feel like they're going to have a little bit of a letdown, so I'm going with Kentucky to come out on top. All right, next up, you got Iowa State versus West Virginia. Iowa State's having a pretty good year right now in the Big 12, right? We've seen Utah go down last night against a pretty good Arizona State team who I think is going to be ranked here pretty soon in the AP poll and possibly even the college football playoff poll that kind of airs out here in the next 3 weeks. I'm going to go with Iowa State in that one to come out on top. A tough environment, though, in Morgantown and West Virginia, and a pretty decent team, but I think Iowa State got it. All right, so looking at the Colorado matchup right here, having a pretty good year, right? A lot of people didn't think they were going to beat UCF. They was the heavy favorite. They went to the bounce house and blew them out, right? And I told y'all, when they was able at home, right, to beat Baylor and do their thing, right, I thought that galvanized them. And I think this is a dangerous team in the Big 12, right? Colorado has a chance to potentially be ranked if they win this game. Now, will it be easy? No. You're going to have to stop DJ Giddens, who's having a really good year, right? Not necessarily by touchdowns, that you guys can see right there, but 604 yards rushing. He's been doing his thing. They have a balanced attack with Avery Johnson at quarterback, right? Only 879 yards passing and 9 touchdowns, but as you guys can see, they like to run it and they like to pass it. That balance is crucial because then he can hit on shot plays, the Brown right here as well. So it's going to be interesting to see, if this Colorado defense can come. Now, I've been really impressed with their back end. Obviously, it's not just Travis. Their linebackers have been flowing to the ball. Defensive line starting to create some pressures. They had a really great game against, like I said, UCF, and then had the bye week to get healthy. Likely, Shiloh Sanders is supposed to be back. Now, I have not looked at a depth chart, but he was likely supposed to be back for this game. So they're going to have to be able to slow them down. What I do think Colorado can do is, and it is advantageous, is they can force Avery Johnson into some mistakes. We have Travis Hunter on the other side of the field, and he could take away certain things, and the way he plays the ball and how disciplined he is, that makes it very advantageous for them. And if they can slow down the run and make Avery Johnson a passer, not saying he can't get it done, but if they can do that and make him uncomfortable, potentially more turnovers, which gets the ball back to this guy right here, Shiloh Sanders. And we know what the deal is with him. If they can protect him, right, allow him to scan the field, he can hit, right? You got Jimmy Horn, Will Shepherd, who I think is one of the better receivers besides Travis. They got some guys that can win. Wester as well. LeJontay Wester is another good one for Colorado. And I think everything is coming together, right? It's not just the Travis Hunter show and Shedeur Sanders show. It's not like that with this team, right? They have a lot of weapons. In the offensive line, right, they're getting the camaraderie, they're getting the chemistry, and everything is coming together. So I really think this one, if they can get early turnovers, if they can force them into a passing team, you know what I'm saying, and get the ball back to Shiloh. I keep saying Shiloh, excuse me, y'all. Shedeur. If they get the ball to Shedeur, allow him to cook in that pocket, and if they can establish their running game, which has been a pleasant surprise. I won't say it's up to standard, but a pleasant surprise for this team this year, with August Dave and Michael Welch coming in as a true freshman, being able to contribute. If they can have that 1-2 punch with August Dave and obviously Welch in there, that makes them dangerous because then you can hit on play action, shot plays down the field to your superstar right here, Travis Hunter, who's the best two-way player in the game, definitely in that Heisman conversation. So if they can do that, they definitely have a better chance than you think. I think it's going to be Bedlam. I know it's going to be packed out. I believe in Prime. I believe, obviously, in Deion Sanders and what they can do. I'm going to roll with the Colorado Buffaloes. I think they make a big-time win in this one. And I think they show everybody, hey, we're dangerous, we're coming, and this is the year of redemption. After going on a 3-0 start last year, struggling towards the midseason, I think that bye is going to help them out a lot. And I think Shedeur Sanders has a big game, throws for like 4 touchdowns in this one. Travis does what Travis does, but I think the running game is going to surprise a lot of folks with August Dave and Welch. And I think they're going to have a big game and have over 100-plus yards rushing combined between all their backs. So I'm rolling with Colorado in this one. All right, y'all. So that's my predictions, man. Week 7 college football. Pick 'em. Comment below, man. Am I crazy? Will these picks come out on top? Y'all call me out. Let me know if I'm right. Let me know if I'm wrong, man. But y'all comment below who y'all taking in all these matchups. That's week 7 college football.